a section of the ferry post stating the time, date, location, and formal action would be taken at that time. Notice was also posted with the township clerk. As president, I declare this to be a legal meeting of the Board of Education. Roll call, Mr. Oberg.
Mr. Kofa?
Present.
Mr. McDevitt?
Here.
Dr. Maloney?
Here.
Mr. Stargell? Mrs. Andrew Williams?
Present.
Mr. James Wilson? Mr. Rodriguez?
Present.
Mr. Wynn?
Here.
Mr. O'Brien?
Here.
You have a quorum?
Thank you. Just, no, Mr. Stargell is here. He's just currently occupied. Go to public comment, agenda items only. The Pennsauken Township Board of Education recognizes that the schools are the concern of all members of the community. With this in mind, the Board of Education welcomes and solicits input from the public during the regular monthly business meeting. Members of the community are afforded the opportunity to express their views. It does, however, respectfully suggest that citizens attempt to resolve concerns by speaking directly to school administrators before bringing it to the board. Individuals with a relevant interest in the functions or duties of the board are invited to speak a maximum of 5 minutes on any one issue. You're required to give your name and address before speaking.
Seeing none, I make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Oberg, that did pass unanimously.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. Okay. I guess we'll go to the report of the board solicitor a little later. Report of committee of the Board of Education. Yes, Mr. Cook.
Mr. President, just two things briefly tonight. Earlier this week I attended the Del Air School back to school night, and Mr. Slater mentioned something to the people that were assembled there about a program through Comcast. And Mr. Oliver, I understand you're familiar with that program where Comcast with the low cost internet and so forth?
We were contacted by Comcast back in July, and we ordered materials for students. Didn't receive them yet. The flyers will go out to everybody. The suggestion that was made by them is send it to everybody, even though they may not qualify personally, they may be able to pass it on to somebody else. And then we have little brochure packets ordered for the counters on all of those.
Could you explain the program, what the program's about?
They have started this year for students that are free and reduced, qualified for free or reduced lunch, a $9.95 internet package, and also, if you don't have a computer, the ability to buy a computer for $150. And it's through their own specific program, so there's a contact of information. They have to reach out to individuals within the corporate setup that they're going to deal with this particular program, and then they just go about making the purchase and ordering the connection and then signing up.
So the district really doesn't have any involvement in other than passing out the information from Comcast to the parents?
Correct, yeah. They just want to try to get as many people as they can.
Yeah. And so basically the program's called Internet Essentials. There's a website, internetessentials.com. Comcast is doing this in all areas that they service, and I think it's a great program. It's going to give people who may otherwise not have the ability to either purchase a computer or have access to the internet, that opportunity for students to do research, and also will get more parents involved in the parent portal and so forth. So it's good that Mr. Slater mentioned that. That brought it to my attention. I did some follow-up, and thank you for your help with getting that and getting the
materials at the end of the month.
Okay, that's great. The other thing I'd like to comment on about is a very proud day on Sunday, the dedication of the World Trade Center artifact that the township held. corner of Westfield Avenue and Merchantville Avenue. School district participated by an ensemble of our band members played the national anthem, did a wonderful job. Members of the Double Dozen sang God Bless America. And we had one young man from the band who played taps. And I've heard taps played in many venues in my life all across this country, and he did as fine a job as I've seen anybody do. So we can be very proud of the students and our music program as we roll along. So, that's all I have to report tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Booth. And the report from committees? Reports.
Well, we have a public relations meeting scheduled, Mr. Rodriguez and Dr. Johnson and myself next week.
Great.
Do some follow-up on what we discussed before.
Report of the board solicitor?
For public session, I only have one report, and that is that we received notice from our council, from Marshall Bentley, that the one claim against the board, which has been dismissed by the Division of Civil Rights and the EEOC. As the statute of limitations for any further action has run, that matter is fully complete.
Excuse me, Mr. McConnell, who was that? It was Mr. Dennehy, and who was the?
Marshall Dennehy
Yes.
is the
No, I
firm
know-
that
yes.
represents us.
You were talking about another claim. I didn't hear the names that you mentioned.
Yes, it was a case filed by Bruce Jones Jr.
Okay.
against the board. And Marshall Dennehy is our insurance counsel that represented us,
Yes.
and the matter has been dismissed.
Thank you. I just didn't hear everything you were saying.
I apologize.
That's all right. Thank you. Good.
Report of old business? Any old business?
Mr. President, if I could, a couple. The board had appointed Strauss Esme. All the materials that they've requested have been sent off to them. They are now in the process of taking your existing policy manual, entering it in, and I'm assuming within a month we should get back from them as they follow the process where then the administrative team will go through, identify what needs to be updated in terms of the additional regulations and that type of thing in terms of what we do, send it back to Strauss Esme. At that point, then they'll send us a draft as a result of what we've done. And then at that point, we'll ask the board to start convening, and the intent is to have this process completed prior to June 30th. It'll take a lot of work, but we're not going to do it piecemeal. We're going to get the whole thing done, and the board always has the option afterwards to revisit anything that they've approved and change it later. But we need to get everything in place as soon as possible. It's believed that it'll get done in about 9 months. We should be finished by the end of June. I do have a second item. Last month, I brought to the board a recommendation for the board to consider an interlocal governmental shared services agreement for enhanced recycling. I would like the board to possibly reconsider this. I think that it's a situation that, quite frankly, may have been misunderstood by the board members. This is simply a vehicle that would permit us to reduce our costs as a Board of Education from $36,000 a year in terms of our cost for disposing of our own trash, bring that cost down to approximately $16,000 to $17,000 a year, thereby netting us a very substantial savings. In addition to that, due to the township having received funds that are only being permitted to be used for enhancing their recycling, the township does have funds that would offset our costs that we would incur for the entire year. So in a sense, what we're actually able to do is eliminate the cost in the current year by 100% in terms of for the waste materials that are recyclable. We still would have the cost of disposing on our own of the food products and styrofoam. It's a major change in terms of what you're permitted to do. It's a change that the township already has implemented, which is single stream recycling, and it would permit the Board of Education to save monies by doing this. So I would ask that the board reconsider this during this month, because each month that we don't participate, it's more money that we're not able to save.
Yeah, I know that some people did have questions last month. I know Mr. Rodriguez was not here last month, so I'm just kind of opening it up to questions.
Again, as you said, I wasn't here for the business nor the conference meeting, so I do have some questions to get a little bit up to speed with it and find out a little bit more about it. And I guess what concerns there were for it not passing. Perhaps we can address those.
In the discussion, as I heard it, that took place, the representative from Waste Management brought forward that part of the program that they want to implement is they have a computer system that they want to donate to each school. And he represented that the purpose of that was to get the children to bring from home their recycling. But absolutely is not what the program is about. What the program is about is us being able to track in the schools what recyclables we're doing, in specific to plastic bottles that are in the school itself. And the idea is that by doing this, it will enhance the children's knowledge of what single stream recycling is about, so that they are in a position when they go home, and they're talking to their parents, to encourage their parents to do the same, which again would help the community in terms of reducing its cost for removing of trash for the municipality. It was never intended in the proposal for us, and somehow the discussion got off that we were going to encourage kids to go home and bring all their recycling to school. We couldn't possibly handle that.
Nor do we wish
So,
to.
the net effect is that we currently collect our own trash, and we take it to a landfill, and we pay tipping fees. What doing this would do is allow us to piggyback on the township's contract that they already have in place with Waste Management. Instead of it going to the dump, where we have to pay tipping fees, they would pick it up. There are fees involved to take it to the recycling area. But by doing that, our cost internally would be reduced, because the only cost we would have in terms of tipping the fees outside of the $15,000, $16,000 a year, because 2 months of the year we really don't have that much of a waste stream. So it's going to be somewhere in between $15,000 to $18,000, because July and August we don't have volume going out. What it will do is we'll still have the tipping fees, which are maybe 18 to 20% of the total tipping fees that we have, which are food and styrofoam. That'll be the only part that we'll have to continue. They also, as a company, Waste Management is looking into a way of taking food and styrofoam and seeing if there's a way that they can create that into some type of mulch, that type of thing. They have spoken to us about the possibility of using one of our sites as a test site